Alright, so this is going to be another movie. Yeah, choked on some ghost pepper rice noodle thingy mixture that I made. Sorry about that. This one's called 1911. 2011. It's Jackie Chan's 100 movie, starring and directed by Jackie Chan. It's a Chinese Communist Party propaganda piece of crud. I haven't seen such a horrible movie in a long time. It's got lots of bad reviews, and people know that it's a propaganda tool of the Chinese Communist Party. It's no wonder Jackie Chan wants to become a Chinese Communist Party member, but they won't let him because his son's a pothead, and he cheated on his wife. So there's that. But Jackie Chan is trying to get into the Chinese market so that he can sell his movies to mainland China. I think that's what he's trying to do here. It's a marketing ploy. All this Communist Party nonsense that he's getting himself involved with. And even at the end of the movie, it says that the revolutionaries of 1911 were influential in uh, kindling the fire of the communist revolution in China. What they don't mention is that the Qing dynasty, which had been around for thousands of years, eventually fell to corruption and weak government. Um, they actually were restored to power in 1917, just 6 years later. So the so-called revolution didn't last very long, 6 years, and even Taiwan tries to take credit for the 1911 revolution. Both sides, the communists and the Taiwan people, say that their inspiration comes from the 1911 revolutionaries. So basically, this is a movie about the transfer of power, the politics involved. Um, they, they insert a lot of communist nonsense in the revolutionaries' speech stuff about equal sharing of land amongst the Chinese and equality. The communists inserted that in there just to give it a more egalitarian type of revolution, more similar to theirs, I guess, at least in theory. But all communism does is makes everybody equally poor. Just look at all the bums in San Francisco. Anyways, um, I finally got through it. It's about 2 hours long. It's mostly the beginning's mostly battle scenes. Jackie Chan gets his finger blown off, so he decides to chop off the lower part. And, there's a pretty gruesome scene where a revolutionary is getting his leg amputated, and he dies on the table while they're cutting his leg off. So it had some promising features, the kind of dark nature of war itself, but in the end, they made the revolutionaries out to be saviors of the Chinese people. They even said the Chinese Communist Party saved the people later on the coattails of the 1911 revolution. So really boring, and could have been a lot better. Should have been produced in Taiwan or the U.S., but Jackie Chan wanted to do it in China. Again, he's pandering to the Chinese people who are ruled by the corrupt, inept Chinese Communist Party, which isn't as bad as people make it out to be, but certainly not as bad as Mao Zedong Cultural Revolution, but still. Get to see this movie for what it's worth, which is nothing. I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars. I hated this flick. Jackie Chan has a pretend wife in this one, and he ends up getting her pregos, presumably out of wedlock. They pretended like they were married, and the Empress eventually abdicates the throne. The ending made no sense. Like I said, Chinese Communist Party taking credit for something that happened in 1911 when they didn't even exist. Again, kind of a stretch, and not really believable at all. But I've got Amityville 2, the possession here. So let's see if this disc plays in my DVD player, and then I have to drive him back in like 30 minutes. So anyways, I just want to get that quick review in, torture myself with some later in Jackie Chan career nonsense. And that's about all I have to say about this flick. What else? There's a governor who's kind of plays both sides of the fence, the revolutionaries and the Qing dynasty. He ends up becoming president after the selfless revolutionary first president abdicates his position. That guy was annoying. The dude with the long hair in the back and the shaved head in the front. I didn't really like any of the characters in this movie. I thought they were pretty lame. Laters.